2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I love doing math. I love doing math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I love doing math. I love doing math. Hey, math is so easy to me. It's so easy. Count it up like.
Hi everybody, today we are going to be talking about finding the mean of a data set. So let's break down what that means. The mean is a type of measure of center, and measures of center are a single number used to describe a set of numeric data. Let's break down what that means. Well, a single number, that means it's just one number used to describe a set of numeric data. Well, a set of numeric data is a data set. It looks like this. So a measure of center takes a data set that has many different numbers, and it gives us a single number that can be used to describe this data set. The mean is a type of measure of center. You can see in green here that a measure of center describes a typical value from the data set. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. So let's look at how we can find the mean of a data set. In order to find the mean, we take the sum of data values and divide it by the number of data values. Now remember, if we're finding the sum, that means we're adding. Also, here's another reminder. This bar right here represents division. So we're taking the sum of data values and dividing it by the number of data values. Let's do an example together. Our instructions tell us to find the mean of the data set. So here we have a table with 5 different people's names. Okay, we have Laura, Cody, Sam, Ella, and Maria. And it tells us how many pets each person has. So if we wanted to find the mean of this data set, we need to follow these steps. We need to first find the sum of the data values. All right, so sum means we're adding them all together. So I take 3, I add it to 5, I add it to 2, I add it to 4, and I add it to 1. And now we need to divide it by the number of data values. So I'm going to write this bar to represent division, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 data values. So I'm going to divide by 5. Now, the sum of my data values equals 15, and it's okay, you can use a calculator to support you. And we need to divide 15 by 5. Well, 15 divided by 5 equals 3. So the mean equals 3 pets. Okay, that's my answer. But let's break down a little bit more what that means. Another name for mean is average. So what this means is, on average, these 5 people will have 3 pets. Or we could say that the typical number of pets that these 5 people will have is 3. Let's go to Miss Rogers for another example.
Hey guys, so today we're going to find the mean of points scored. So you can see I put a table out for us. So I'm going to go ahead and read those numbers. So for points scored, there's 73, 77, 85, 84, 37, and 115. So we know to find the mean, it's the sum of data values over the number of data values. All right, so the first thing we need to do is we need to find our sum of the data values. So I'm going to take 73 plus 77 plus 85 plus 84 plus 37 plus 115. Now that is a lot of numbers to add together, so I'm going to go ahead and use a calculator for that. And after I put all of that into a calculator, I get 471. So the sum of data values is 471. Now we need to see what the number of data values is. We can go to our chart here and we see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we have 6 data values. So I'm going to go ahead and put that down there as our denominator. So we have 471 divided by 6. So when I do 471 divided by 6, I get 78.5. So our mean of these points scored is 78.5.
Okay, let's take a look at one last example together. The monthly earnings of several teenagers are $200, $320, $275, $250, $750, $350, and $310. find the mean. Now, you can see in this data set that these numbers are a little bit bigger, but that's okay. We'll still follow the same process. We'll find the sum of the data values and divide by the number of data values. You can also see that there's a lot of variability or difference in this data. For example, our lowest value is $200 and our highest value is $750. There's a big difference between those two numbers. So let's find the mean together. We need to first find the sum of our data values, and we know that sum means we're adding. So I'm going to take 200 and add it to 320. And remember, I'm getting my data values right from my problem. And add it to 275 plus 250 plus 750 plus 350 plus 310. And we will divide that by the number of data values that we have. So let's count how many data values we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we divide by 7. Now these are large numbers, so it's okay. You can use your calculator to support you, and that's what I did. So I added all 7 of these values together, and I got 2,455. Okay, so we'll write that. 2,455 divided by 7. Now you'll notice when we divide this value by 7, we're given a number that has a long decimal. So I'm going to write 350, and then I'm going to write 3 values, and 714th thousandths. Okay, now this is an approximate answer because this decimal would continue to go on. However, because we're dealing with money, money only has 2 decimal places. We only go to the hundredths place when it comes to money. So I'm going to use this value in my thousandths place to round. So remember, if it's 4 or less, we let it rest. So my answer is going to be that the mean, once we rounded, is approximately $350. Remember, dollars is our unit. And 71 cents. That is the mean of our data set. And what this tells us is that the typical teenager in this data set earns $350.71. Some of these teenagers earn less, some of these teenagers earn more, but the average or the typical or the mean is $350.71. All right, you have a bunch of independent practice. You have a quiz to take on the mean. If you have questions, reach out to your teacher or refer back to this video. Have fun!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I love doing math. I love doing math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.